Get ready, cause it's about time for you to speak your mind. Secret Girls Club. Secret Girls Club. Super Secret Girls Club.
Hello. Welcome to Wednesday morning. How's everyone doing in the chat? Really quick, if you are watching us on YouTube, we won't be reading that chat. It will be up on Twitch. So come on to Twitch, talk to us. We'll talk back to you.
Yes.
As long as you're appropriate, and we'll go from there.
If you're inappropriate, we will also talk to you.
Yeah.
I think.
Depending on the topic. Otherwise, we'll just skip right over. My name is Navi.
Oh, my name is Marketa.
Yeah, we're trying to do our very best. And welcome to Super Secret Girls Club.
Yay.
Brooke here. And no, nobody needs a secret password to join the Super Secret Girls Club. You just need to know where we are.
It would be interesting though.
Yeah, we should try to. But yeah. How's your week been? I feel like this week's been crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah. Things have just happened.
We spent all of last weekend at PopCon.
Oh yeah.
And outside of PopCon, just generally still be
networking
in the area and doing PopCon things outside of PopCon hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a very long weekend. It was a great weekend.
It was fun
but
weekend.
It was very, very long, and I am exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
What about you?
Same. I mean, I think the PopCon was the highlight, and then we did Blind Wave was in town, so we hung out pretty much with Blind Wave at the PopCon. After the PopCon, they came over to a sauna, so it was a lot of fun. I like that how close we're all getting to just kind of to find out that they also argue or talk about the same things that we argue and talk about the same things. It's like we are all the same.
Yeah.
So it's nice, but
I really bonded with Jancy.
Yeah.
Because she's doing scheduling too for Blind Wave.
Nice.
And I feel like we're the only people who get frustrated when you hear an announcement, it's like, extra episodes dropping today. And everybody's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get more of this show that we love.
Yeah.
And
just
me and Jancy are like, fuck.
I can see it. That was nice. I remember talking to Aaron, and Aaron was essentially like, can we go all sit down where it's not super loud, because kind of talk about things that only we all know how to talk about. So yeah. You connecting with Jen is nobody else will know this frustration of everybody getting excited about new Naruto episodes dropping, but you have to figure it out how to fit it in or anything.
So that was nice.
That was nice.
It's interesting. I feel like every time we have a reactor come over, or us visiting another creator or reactor, it's it's a very special time, because we get to vent. And I feel like every time I try to vent to a friend who is not doing this, they just can't empathize or relate in any way. It's just oh, you're exhausted from watching TV.
It was funny. I saw the person that I'm not gonna say, I'm just gonna call S. So I saw them last night, and they were venting about their work. Yeah. And they was okay, how did your week went? And went, and I kind of started talking. It's I feel so stupid just talking about this, compared to your work. No, totally understandable. And yeah, you're right. When we do see a creators, when we saw RTTB, Yaboroshi, we essentially stay out with them for pretty late, because it's the same people. They know we don't have to discuss a lot of it, but they're still just different than the normies that we can talk to. So it's pretty nice. But yeah, my body is one of those, if I don't get an 8-hour or 10-hour sleep on weekends, my body starts shutting down. So it's starting to I'm starting to feel sick, but I'm not sick, but my body's just gonna be oh, your eyes are hurting.
Have you been trying to take naps?
I can't take naps. I
hate
naps.
I
hate them. It makes me more groggy. I did yesterday. Confused.
You wake up and you're just what century am I in?
I try to take a little bit on Monday when you posted that we're gonna do Futurama a little bit late. It's I have a little bit of time. So it's I'm gonna sleep for 15 minutes. the worst idea ever, because that 15 minutes go by so quick, and I was tired, but I was like, I should have just stayed up. But no, I think if this weekend if I don't get 10 hours sleep, my body is gonna start slowly shutting down, making it look like I'm sick, but I'm not sick. All I need is sleep.
I don't like naps because I feel like I don't know how to handle the aftermath of a nap, because I feel like once I like close my eyes and nap, my day is over. Even if I wake up before I go to actually go to bed, I don't really do anything after a nap. Like, naps don't energize me. Like, I feel like it just kind of not exhausts me, but just it doesn't give me any drive to pursue anything for the rest of the day.
No, it makes sense. Like, I think all our chat, they feel the same as well. It really is, because I think once I wake up from nap, it's like, okay, it's evening. There's not much to do. We're gonna go to sleep. So it's not like, oh my God, let's get to do it. Unless I'm taking a nap, worked all night and have to take a nap in the morning, and then I know I have a whole day. That's a different mode. Otherwise, I'm just maybe, cranky, just like worked here.
Maybe like an after lunch nap would work for me, but I'm scared because every time I try to take a nap, it's like 4.
Can't.
And like, even if I take like a 20-minute nap from like 4 to 4:20, I wake up at 4:20, my day is over. I will not do anything.
That's funny. Yeah, I can't. I should. I am jealous of people who try to take power naps. I think
I don't
kudos
understand
to them.
what that means.
Power
nap is a misnomer.
A power nap. I guess it works for some people. I don't know, but
I have not experienced a power nap in my life.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting week. Interesting weekend. We have some interesting topic for you guys today. What do you have for us, Kitty?
So today we are going to do something a little different. I went to Reddit, and I looked up some people seeking advice on the internet, and I thought that there were a few interesting contributions, and I think that Navi and I can possibly give good advice. Not to toot our own horn, but hopefully we can
do the best.
We can provide some insight. So
we'll try our best.
Yeah, so I went to just the general r/advice. This is where I pulled it from.
Okay.
And it's been about a week. So these submissions are probably like long surpassed by others. Fair enough. This is a little outdated.
Yeah.
Because, we were supposed to do our OnlyFans discussion 2 weeks ago, but it happened last week just because our internet went out and blah, blah, blah.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
So this is outdated, but we're still going to talk about it.
Fair enough.
So the first question on our /advice is, am I missing out on my 20s by not dating or having sex? That's the question.
That's it?
And we're going to elaborate. So I'm 23, female, and I've never had a relationship. It's not that I don't want to. I just have a lot of anxiety around the situation, so I avoid it. But as I get older, I feel like me being a virgin is weird, and I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of experiences that other people typically have by my age. I don't want to ruin the experience and do some things I regret, but I really just don't know what to do at this point. For clarification, I have been on some dates. I just back out before it can become anything. So am I missing out? Should I start dating? Should I have a hoe phase? Help.
I will say hands down yes to the hoe phase. Definitely everybody should have a hoe phase.
Okay, so
summarizing it.
She's still a virgin. She's 23-year-old and she's virgin. So do you recommend a hoe phase immediately? Because maybe I would say
just have I don't know. So from summarizing what I'm understanding, she's 23.
Yes.
And she has anxiety being with people.
Or having a relationship. I guess
having a relationship.
I don't know if it's a commitment fear or just the responsibility of being in a relationship is making her anxious. Okay. It's not very clear why she has anxiety, but she has anxiety over like being in a relationship with somebody.
Gotcha. So I don't think so she really needs to work on that part. I think having sex or being virgin, I guess that's like a side effect of her having anxiety being with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I totally understand. I get it. Like, I feel like in today's society that if you're a virgin after a certain age, they're like, why? It kind of look bad upon it. Like, it's still your choice.
Also, like, it's not public information. It's not
Exactly.
something you need to disclose to people, really.
Yeah. But I do remember when I was younger, and I was like, I think I was the only one who was a virgin for not super long, but like I was a virgin in college. And I was like, oh my God, should I just do it? Like, is it that thing? But I'm glad I kind of waited. But I think she needs to really work on the idea of why she has anxiety. Maybe she is not meeting. She probably had a trauma. I'm assuming probably had trauma in her younger age where she probably was with somebody that she didn't feel safe. So she just need to find somebody that she feels safe with, and then kind of explore having sex and what that feels like to her, because not everybody gets excited with the whole phase. Like, you may, like, have sex and you're like, oh, this is good, but it's good with the people that you kind of have the emotional connection, or you be like, all right, I want to explore more. I don't care if I have emotional connection. The person don't know how you are until you kind of open that door. And then, I mean, I kind of had my whole phase a little bit later. I think it was like after I broke up with my first boyfriend. For a little bit, but it was never complete. So like I think my last few years have been that. So it doesn't matter when you have it. It doesn't matter when you lose your virginity. If you want to explore more, you can do it whenever.
I think that the virginity part is like a big part of this question. And it seems like she also has anxiety around the fact that she's a virgin. So I don't, and like I think that in connection with the whole phase, I don't know, like this submission was interesting for me because I didn't know how to really answer or give good advice, because I advocate for whole phase all the time. I think it's important, and I think that a lot of the time when you have like people getting married too young, they end up maybe like, I don't know, maybe opening up their relationship down the line if they're like good and solid in the relationship, or they just end up cheating because they feel like maybe they missed out.
Exactly. And I totally get it. And he said, he or she, I'm sorry, they 32, never had a serious relationship, had a whole phase in college though, but I'm not interested in casual sex anymore. And that's true. Like, I think it's one of those things, like, you kind of have to, if you either get out of the system ethically or you end up doing it later, because you always have to be like, what if kind of thing. At least for me, it's always what if. But I think I'm also now in a phase like, I think I've done everything that I wanted to do, and it doesn't matter if it's a casual, but like I'm fine with not being it either. But I think for her, it is, I can see also that she might be, anxious to be with somebody because she's afraid how they're gonna think to know that she's 23 and that she's virgin. So that probably is adding on to her anxiety. And I think at that point, it could work both ways. It could work as like she could find somebody who totally understands and like kind of walks her through her, or somebody could totally take advantage, like, oh, I want to be the first one, and then it could be a traumatic. But it's just, I think you just have to listen to yourself, and when you feel safe, and do it regardless of what age it is, and then go from there. Because don't let the society tell you one way or the other, because society will also tell you don't do the whole phase, or like have sex after marriage. So you can pick one or the other, but what feels right for you. There's no wrong answer.
And one more angle that I wanted to address with this is just the general idea outside of sex, just dating. While you are at this age, 23, is it a good idea to be in a relationship at that age, or is it better to be single? So what are the pros and cons of like dating while you're school age, basically? You're probably in college still at 23, or maybe you just graduated. Maybe you have a job, but you're still very young. Personally, I feel like I chose to be single in that time because I didn't want to. I didn't really want to like lose my mobility or flexibility when it comes to, like, maybe I get a job offer that will require me to move, and then I don't want to go through a breakup just because it would be said that I value my career over somebody that loves me.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to put somebody through that or put myself through that. Yeah. So I chose to be single at that time. Yeah. What about you?
I honestly, last night I had to like think about what age I was when I dated. Because I have like just having this conversation regarding this. When I dated my first boyfriend, I broke up with him. I believe I was 21. He was my first boyfriend ever. I was freshman in college, and by senior, he was 1 year older than me, and he had graduated. And he was gonna go to China to teach. It was like long-term relationship doesn't work, and also he was my first everything. It was like I don't know what else is out there, and now I'm gonna be stuck doing the long distance relationship, and we were kind of like it could be serious. Like that's just not gonna work. We broke up, and I think I was single for a couple of years, I'm assuming 21, 22, and I think 23 is when I started dating Mickey, or end of it, or then I don't think I completed my whole phase, and I again like jumped into this other serious relationship. And like looking back at it, I think that is the age when you're kind of trying to figure out what you want to do. Like I graduated from master's. I didn't know what kind of job I had. I was getting into a job that I was going to be traveling quite a bit, and also, working on a YouTube, which is completely different than what I wanted. So like there was things like happening in my life. Like this is not, I thought, where I would be. Yeah. And doesn't mean it's bad, but I just don't know what this is.
Yeah. And I think it's good at that age to have your door open to anything.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's difficult. I feel like if you meet like a really, really good partner at that time, and you're really happy and you both complement each other in ways that you've never experienced with anybody else, there's a lot to consider.
Yeah. But I think you said a good point. Like, keep your door open. Yeah, like that could mean that you might find somebody, but as long as that person is keep letting you be you, I think that's the best part. If you find somebody that you're like, oh, I can't focus on my studies, I can't do this that I want to do, like as soon as you're asking those questions, like I can't do this because of this person, that might not be a right time. That doesn't mean that's not a right person, it's just not a right time. So I think you really need to focus on yourself when you're younger. I don't think it's good to just say like, oh, I'm not gonna date, period. Just keep a door open. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, as long as you're not feeling stifled, it's good.
Yeah. A relationship shouldn't be your ball and chains. Yeah. A relationship should be something that like you both grow together. And if you grow apart, that's sad. Yeah. But, you're still growing. And you never know when you meet somebody. But yeah, so enough of that. I think we've answered her question. I think she needs therapy. I think there's a lot more. There's a lot more that is unsaid in this question. Yeah. And I think that a therapist would be able to help better than we can, or people on Reddit. With all due respect.
I think for now, like as soon as you're reading it was like very first, I think you had a trauma. This is not being with people is a first red flag, regardless what else you're thinking. Yeah. I think you just need to focus on why are you anxious of being with someone. Let's just start with that.
Yes. All right, so next question is a juicy one. Ooh, juicy. Contemplating ending a 7-year relationship. Ooh. I know.
That is always difficult. All right.
Deep breath.
Hit it.
I'm going to try to shorten this as much as possible, but I really need the advice. Okay. My girlfriend, 28, and I, 26, have been together for coming up to 7 years.
Oh, so he was 21. Yes. She was even younger. Okay. Yes. Wow.
No, she is older than him by 2 years.
Gotcha.
I love her, but until the topic of marriage was brought up, I really started to evaluate our relationship. I've realized that almost everything is kind of fucked up. Cliff notes. She's incredibly serious about her privacy. She doesn't want me talking to people about her. She doesn't have a Facebook, no friends besides our neighbor, has 0 hobbies, expects every moment I have of work to spend with her. So... kind of needy. Whew. she weighed roughly 130 pounds and now weighs a little over 190 and rising, completely letting herself go.
Okay.
Our sex life used to be fantastic. Now it's boring and unenthusiastic. Her family dynamic is fucked. She's trying to get them to move, so she loses touch with her family also. Hates kids to the point she will not interact with her family members who have kids. Hate is a strong word. It's a trauma coping thing. No cooking. She does not clean up after herself. She seems to want to hoard animals, and I constantly have to say no. Keeps bringing up marriage, but does not want traditional wedding. She refuses to take my last name. She doesn't want literally half of her family there. Absolutely no kids allowed, and would rather we got married in front of a judge. She was never like this until 2 years ago, and now I feel like I'm drowning. I make just enough to survive on my own, but I still love her. But in the long run, I feel like I'm fucking up my 20s being with someone who acts like they're 60s in bed and 10 years old when it comes to responsibilities. Help. I like how all of them ends with help.
Help. I will say straight up, yeah, I need to end things.
I feel like she's kind of, we talked about the ball and chains.
Yeah.
She kind of feels like ball and chains for
Yeah.
this guy.
I don't see what benefit they will be getting or he will be getting from being married in this, because he already seems like a lot is happening with her.
It doesn't seem like she's somebody who like works on herself.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, we don't know anything about him. This was his POV of her.
Yeah, it could be that he's not either. So she's just like, if he's not, maybe I guess we are
but,
all
I mean,
good
if,
to go.
If he sees it in her, then I'm assuming that he would recognize it in himself too. And
that's fair.
yeah.
I guess you won't be like, oh, I'm 250, but she's rising from 100. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, but I think with the things like, it seems like she's very comfortable in the situation, and she thinks that this is the forever.
Yeah.
So she kind of has let go, which I can see that.
She's taking him for granted.
She's taking him for granted, and I think it would be good to kind of have a discussion about it. You don't have to like necessarily like, hey, I'm breaking up, but like, hey, listen, this I'm thinking about ending things because of these situations, and if you also feel like we are kind of stalled, maybe we should end things now, because getting married is not gonna be any solution. And yeah, that would be my advice on that, because it just seems like, I know 7 years is a lot. One thing I think people always think like, it's been 7 years, right? Like it's been 13 years, it's been 20. That's just it's gone. It's lost cause.
It's called fallacy for a reason. Sunk cost fallacy.
Sunk cost, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
It's
You can always, change. You can always move things around. Like, yes, your time up to now is past.
Yeah.
It's in the past, but there's future and there's now that you can influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where it's one of the big major, it's like, oh, I've had so many years. You know what? Like, if you don't end it and start with somebody new that you could be putting time in, then again, is a time that you're going to be adding on to this that is going to feel a little bit more burden. It's done. You can start something new with somebody anytime, and you might be 10 times more happier.
Yeah. So do you feel like in this scenario, breakup is the only solution?
No, I think he needs to have, I think he can have a communication with her. It's like, hey, these things are bothering me. I would like to see if there's something going on. Maybe she does need to also talk to someone. Or are you okay with working on it? What compromise, like what can we do? Not really compromises, like are you able to make sure that we still have romance in this? That's what it seems like. There's no romance there. There's no sex life there. Like, what is it? Is it him that she's not finding attractive? Maybe it is him. Like, like you said, it is his POV. So there is something that he might be doing that we don't know, that is not around, like sexually attractive to her. So they need to kind of have an open conversation, like, hey, this is the issues that I'm having, which is concerning me on why I don't want to get married. If you think that nothing's gonna change, then we might as well end this now than we go any longer. And if she does want to make changes, then I think he should give her a chance and also listen to her. But if it turns into like defensive, where she doesn't think if she doesn't think that there's anything wrong with her, then end things. I think breakup might be the solution. Maybe he has egg farts.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, if we just like accept the message that I just read as like, you know, verbatim, like this is truth, then it seems like they should break up. He should break up with her. But then the other question is, how do you go about breaking up after 7 years? It's rough.
It's rough. There's no better way to do it.
Honestly, I fucking hate. I mean, I don't think anybody enjoys breakups, but like,
you'd be psycho
even after a month, I'm just like,
dude. Sometimes, like after a week or two, I'm talking. I'm like, how do I tell this person? Is text okay at this point? Do I need to call? Like, I will every single time. I will go to Google. It's like, when is it okay to text breakup? And then we're like, has it been 3 days? Has it been 2 days? I was like,
so funny.
Like, it's like, what's a call breakup? Like a person breakup. It sucks. It really sucks. I think it's just a way of like, hey, can we sit down? Can we have a conversation about this? Like, can we talk? I think that immediately everybody know what that means, and it will immediately tell you like what that means. I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling too. It just sucks. It sucks so bad. But you know, you just.
It might be also one of the fears of the previous question, where she's like
have anxiety,
doesn't want to have a relationship. Maybe it's because she doesn't know how she would like end it if it's not good.
I totally get it. Like, it really is. I think both of my relationship, I may have like stayed on longer for a little bit, few months, because I was like afraid to do it. But there's no way. It's gonna be like ripping a band-aid. It's awful. I think it's just a matter of, at that 7 years, you have to have an in-person conversation. This cannot be a text. This cannot be a call. It needs to. Not. I think there's a time limit.
Oh my god.
Like, it needs to
imagine
be in person.
To be broken up by text after 7 years.
Exactly. And be ready. Like, if you guys are living together, then I think it will be good for you to go live somewhere else. If she needs a space, you cannot kick her out from her place because she didn't know. I think the smart move will be you have your like a day or two back ready. If the things get ugly, then go stay with a friend that one of your friend know. Sit down and really have in-person conversations like, hey, these are all things, but be ready. You never know how the person is when they're breaking up, but just have someone ready to support you as well. And then kind of, I don't know if you should let any of her friends know, because to just kind of tell them like, hey, she might need you, but I think you kind of have to just play that by ear.
I definitely think because from the context, I think it sounds like they live together already.
I mean, if don't, it would be so weird after 7 years.
And it also, this situation reminds me so much of Ultimatum, the reality show, because she seemingly really, really wants to get married, but why?
Well, why? Yeah. Like, you don't want kids. I don't know if he wants kids. So I think that's the other thing.
It seems like maybe he does.
Yeah, if that's a really big...
That's a big deal breaker.
That's a big deal breaker. And I think that can be a part of your conversation. Like, hey, I really want kids. And it doesn't seem like you want kids. Maybe you can adopt if you guys do want to compromise. But it's a big deal breaker. And I think, like, focus on deal breakers and just kind of be like, these are my deal breakers. Can we work on some of these? And then see what that looks like. If not, then it is what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Sucks. It just sucks. I love Brooke here. Anyway, I break up with her via formal resignations email. Imagine
give my 2 weeks notice.
Yeah. Imagine ghosting after dating for 7 years.
Oh my god.
You'll be the worst. Don't do that. I think that is only okay. We also need to talk about ghosting and the protocols for ghosting. That's only good if you only met somebody once and you guys both mutually did it. But if the person texted you, then reply back. But if they didn't text, you didn't text, mutual ghost.
Yeah.
Good.
Mutual ghost is
mutual
fine.
Ghost. Go for it.
Okay. Do you want to talk about ghosting now, or because I have one more thing?
No, go for it.
One more question. Okay. So this is weird
Okay.
question. I don't think we're gonna talk Oh my god.
Your phone is weird.
I don't know what's happening.
So anytime she flips it, the question disappears. So
Yeah.
there's nothing there.
Okay, there we go. So this question is really weird.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we're gonna talk about it for super long, so then we can talk about ghosting if we have time.
Super long. Let's go.
How do I not care that people find people from my country ugly?
What? How do I not care that people find people from my country ugly?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I hope he tells me a country.
Well, he does not.
Okay.
There are a lot of posts online about how ugly people from my country are. How ugly people from my country are.
Damn.
I don't usually care about things like that, but when I keep seeing it, it makes it seem like it is something most people actually think and not just an internet thing. I know this is stupid to care about at all, but it has made me feel worse about my appearance, and I think I would have bad social anxiety traveling and would feel like I'm being judged the entire time. How do I not care or think about it? My first, I have like always like list of questions that I have.
Okay.
My first question is like, WTF?
Seriously.
Which country is this, and who the fuck is saying these things?
So true. Who is saying these things? Clearly they're seeing it so much that's out there.
This person must live in Alabama. So to me, this gives me like heavy racist vibes.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if this was about like an African country or just maybe like just this seems to be like this kind of hate seems to be coming from like the white towards something non-white. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
That's the vibes I'm getting.
Yes, very racist.
Yeah.
As soon as she was like, excuse me?
Like which country? What
country are you talking about?
I can't think of a single country where like these people are fucking ugly.
Yeah, but I guess you're right. If they are talking about, like the racist comments, then don't date them. If people are talking about that doesn't mean everybody feels that way. I think it's hard to generalize. You shouldn't. There are people who are accepting of everyone, and if people are who don't like dating you specifically what you look like, then don't date them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think this is specifically like a dating thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like when this person said that they have fear of traveling, that made me really sad.
Oh.
That they think people would be looking down at them because they're from this country, therefore they're ugly.
He sounds like he's very young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, it's very sad.
It's very sad.
And I think this contribution was really interesting to me because I do think like when you continue to see negative things about something of yourself or yourself directly, then like that will stay with you. Yeah. And I'm looking at you comments. Yeah, sometimes the comments like even to us are like really mean, and if that's like a constant, then it does get to your psyche.
Yeah. And sometimes they say things that you were thinking of like, God damn, other people are seeing this too. So if like you're right, like if they feel specifically toward about themselves, then they are finding specific posts that also kind of validate those feelings, which is making them more insecure.
So I think the main question is, how do you deal with the toxicity on the internet? Because there's a lot of it, and I don't think it's ever gonna go away.
Yeah.
So how do you handle being online?
I feel like there should be a classes given on this.
Yes.
Because I think the being online is just gonna be a more of a thing, especially if we start living in VR, like Ready Player One. Online is gonna be a new normal, and people do need to know about it. It's difficult, man. It really is difficult. I think eventually you create a thick skin. I think it's good to have a good support system around you who can validate you, knowing that you are good, you appreciate it, you're worth it. Because otherwise, if you don't have the support system and you feel some certain way about you, doesn't matter if there's a 10,000 good comments, you're gonna end up seeing that one bad that is kind of pointing at it. And people tend to overthink. I'm an overthinker. And you can't tell an overthinker don't you think? Like that's just not a thing. So it's difficult. I think the first one is going to be find one or two people. It doesn't have to be that many. One person who's a support system for you and make you feel good. It doesn't have to be like sexual, just platonic, like friend who can, like when they see you as
Hype
a person.
man. You need a hype man.
Exactly. Who see you as a person, not necessarily like your race, your gender, your ethnicity or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's also important to be aware of the fact that people on the internet operate under anonymity, and for some people that gives them like the ultimate power. Like they don't know really how to moderate themselves and how to, because a lot of the times people will say things that they would never say in public to a person, like face to face.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when they are behind the screen and they are protected,
they say whatever
from the the consequences of their words.
Yeah.
Then they will say whatever, and that I think you need to be aware of that too. That like this person is coming from a cowardly angle at you because they are safe and they think they can hurt you, and they will not get anything back. I think thinking about it that way will give you more power.
Yeah.
Because you will understand that these are fucking losers, like
exactly.
You don't need to be concerned about what they think about you, especially because you're from a certain country.
Yeah.
And that was also, I like that everybody in the comments, like responses was like, what the fuck? Which country is that? Nobody understood like what this person was talking about.
Like, what country? Seriously, that was my first question. Like, what? That's so funny. It's like, when you're giving a speech and imagining everybody else naked in the audience, and like just imagine like just all the trolls are just idiots, and they would never say that to you in person.
Absolutely.
So those words mean nothing. They're just saying it because they just want somebody to hear them, and they like putting somebody else down because whatever reasons. So people, we are reading chat. We are reading a Twitch chat only. So if you're on a YouTube, hop on over Twitch. We were reading, or Marketa did search on Reddit/advice. So we pulled up a few from those. If you have questions, feel free to add them to the Twitch as well. And we do have one, and I think it's very interesting. It is
Melanie Green.
Melanie Green. Go for it.
What do you think about tickling? I am also in a relationship where she's into tickling and likes to tickle. I'm curious, but I don't know how to approach it. What do you guys think about tickling? Oh, it's
a repeat of them
twice. Okay, sorry. Well, I mean, ask her if you don't know what to do. Yeah.
Like, how would she would like that to be incorporated into your relationship?
Tickling is like tickling as a kink, I'm assuming, like sexually. So, I mean, I don't know anything about it. And I think if my partner was into that, then I would probably ask them, how do I do this?
Yes, yeah.
For you so that you are enjoying yourself?
Like, is it me tickling you or you want to tickle me?
Yeah.
And, because I've never have run into this, so anytime I haven't run into any kind of fetish or kink or somebody's curious, like, so how? Explain more in very basic terms. So because I want to understand it, and I want to understand it, I want to make sure that you feel good about it. And if you, after talking about it, you don't want to do it, then just be like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, and this is gonna be my limit.
Yeah.
Or we can test it out and see how I feel.
Yeah.
I'll go from there.
I agree with Legendarius. Tickling can be a fine line between fun and torture.
Exactly. So I think it depends.
It's kind of like BDSM, where like if you're submissive, then you guys need to have like a safe word or something. Maybe you need safe word, but it seems like your partner knows more about it than you.
Yeah. So talk to them
and have an open mind. Yeah. Try it out. Unless you're like completely uncomfortable with it, then also say that.
Yeah.
So that you don't get into a situation you don't want to be in. Yeah, I think it's just the communication. I don't think there's anything like inherently bad or wrong about being tickled or tickling other people consensually.
Exactly. Like if somebody, we don't. Is it condone? We don't condone any kinks or fetishes. Like every kink and fetish, as long
Seal
as
of approval.
seal of approval, as long as they're consensual
Yes.
and between adults,
Yes.
go for it.
Absolutely.
But the communication, I think that one of my favorite words or code safe words are like
Foliage.
No, mine's like two. So yellow is more so like it's fine, but kind of slow down. And then red is like hard stop. So just stop, nothing. But like yellow can just be like, hey, it's fine, but like
Cool it.
Yeah, cool it. Otherwise, like just like let's just take a not even take a break, but like just cool it. Like I'm not against it. Because you never know. And then red is like immediately, and you need to set those code words beforehand. Whatever kink it is, so like, hey, let's set these code words and let's test it out. Like you can't say no to something without testing it out. Besides like hardcore drugs,
unless you like know.
Yeah,
like I like for me, like I know I have limits. I know that there's some things I don't want to do.
But you tried them, so then you know you have limits, right? Or you haven't tried them.
I just like know that there's things I'm not in. Like I know people do will eat poop.
Oh yeah, God no. So gross. Just gross.
But
golden
some people are
showers.
into it.
Yeah,
some people are into golden showers.
Yeah.
I'm that's cool. Like you do you.
That's fair.
But I will not.
Yeah, find somebody else.
Like, and I'm not even gonna try it.
Exactly.
I just know. I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
And that's would you ever be open to, let's say your partner wants it's in golden shower, and here we're talking about Chris because we know your partners. Let's say hypothetical third person. Would you ever be open to like, okay, you can do this with someone else, considering that it's just that, because you won't be able to fulfill that fantasy?
I could probably pee on someone.
Okay, but just not peed on.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know if I will pee on someone.
I mean, if they're asking for it.
I guess so, but I'm just like, how? I don't know. I think I will test it once, but I will be really weirded out on that. But yeah, not on it.
Oh, and Alpha Cure Ace is talking about his feet fetish.
Yeah.
And I guess doesn't want to share with their girlfriend. I mean, you should.
I think it's a very common
Honestly,
fetish.
Getting a foot massage is always like the best thing in the world.
It really is.
I see nothing wrong here.
No, seriously, I think people undermine foot fetish. Or like I think it's a very...
I see nothing wrong here.
Yeah, nothing. It's so weird how common foot fetish is, because when we first started the channel, I think it was the first time kind of getting introduced to like, oh, people are really into feet. Like I really didn't think there were many people, but I have dated people who like it and they will give the foot massage. Best shit ever. So good.
Yes.
I don't care. I mean, go for it. And so I guess it depends on how you're into it. There's nothing wrong about discussing it. And maybe you can just start with the foot like massaging, right? Like I don't think she will anything, but like if you pull out your dick while you're massaging it, that'll be a different thing. Then you may have a further conversation.
I don't know how far they are in the relationship.
Exactly.
I remember one time me and Chris were at lunch somewhere like in one of the local restaurants here nearby.
Yeah.
There was a guy sitting, like a couple sitting across from each other.
Yeah.
And she had her legs like you do right now, and he like kept reaching, like you could see under the table.
Yeah.
She was wearing just like slippers or something.
Yeah.
He kept reaching under the table and like massaging her foot.
Yeah.
But like you're in a restaurant. She's wearing slippers. Like
her
her feet are probably dirty.
Yeah.
You're gonna like that. Honestly, that was very off-putting for me.
Was it?
And I was just like I had to like sit somewhere else, and I was like I literally can't. I'm done.
That's so funny that you say that, because I saw a couple when I was in Mexico, and like literally full on massaging this woman's feet, and it's like very, very sexual. I was like, okay, you guys had few drinks, and I was like, it's fine. I think we were like just sitting, and I was like, this is interesting. We're like, I'm gonna go. I'm done eating. This funny actually. Like, I think we're gonna have another podcast where we talk about kinks and fetishes. Just I'm curious on what people think. But
And
yeah.
yes, Bractor, you are absolutely correct. It's gross when you display your kinks in public to people who don't consent to it.
That's true.
Yes. I even saw like I don't know what's wrong with some countries, but I don't know which country this was from, but I saw like a person walking another person on a leash with like the puppy mask.
Yeah.
But like in the daylight, like on a bus, like in public.
They're not doing anything to you.
Yeah, but as Rector said, it's like the people on the bus did not consent to be part of this play.
But you're not part of that play, though. You just
You
happen
are.
to be there. They too are part of the play. I think it's different when like somebody come up and flash them to me. It was like, I'm clearly not consenting to this.
Yeah.
But I think if there's like a puppy play happening, like in Pride play, like
that's
sometimes there.
also like I feel like there's time and place.
I guess so.
Pride parade is like more things are allowed because you're celebrating your sexuality, and people come to support you, for that reason because you have been oppressed for like centuries, millennia.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So I think literally just time and place. Like, no, I'm literally not saying what about the kids. No, I'm saying I'm like trying to read a book on the bus. If someone's next to me with a puppy mask and
Fair
like someone asks me if I want to pet them, I'm gonna probably shove that book at them. Like, just
That's fair.
like, fuck off.
I remember when I was asked one time, do you want to pet him? I was like, no.
Yeah, but like
I'm
see,
good.
it was probably like at like a sex club or something. Right?
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
like
And just
on
out
the bus in Chicago
yeah.
or something.
Oh no, in the bus it would be weird.
It would be weird.
I guess that makes sense. I guess it just really depends on. I can't even think of any other. Yeah, I guess just don't do it in public. I guess there's time and place. Yeah,
Oh,
that makes sense.
God.
What were you reading?
I saw this homeless man sucking this guy's toes that was just waiting at the bus stop. That's wild.
That's insane.
Uh,
Oh God, Normies kink sharing stream when we already know surges into feet. One of these topics are probably gonna be around
That's
it.
so
We're probably gonna raid probably Reddit as well.
Yes.
I think we're gonna
Yeah.
do a little bit more for Reddit. It's just like ask like
yeah.
girl ask men, guys ask men. Yeah.
Do let us know if you enjoyed this format.
Yes.
We want to definitely look more into Reddits. We also want you to ask us questions. We've had Q&As, phone calls in the past, and we usually got calls from like 2 or 3 people that we love so much. But we would love to hear from more people.
Yes.
But before we do, we're gonna take questions from Reddit, and we're gonna try to do the best advice possible. Also, there is a Discord channel for SSGC. If we see you guys asking questions there, we'll always pull them out and try to answer in the best of our ability.
Yeah. I was trying to just pull up the Discord for SGC. I was like, what if there are questions there? We are not even
Well, I don't know.
looking
Let's
at
see.
them.
I haven't checked.
After a really long time. No, there aren't.
There aren't.
Yeah.
No.
But no, fair. That's fair. So
That's
what is your definition of ghosting? Like, what would you say the ghosting is appropriate and when it is absolutely not? Obviously not when you're in a 7-year relationship, but...
So I was ghosted for the first time when I moved to the US.
Yeah.
And I
Welcome.
learned about this concept and was very pissed about it.
That's
I
hilarious.
was very upset. It definitely was like a blow to my self-confidence.
I bet.
So I think like if you're dating somebody who is not from here, maybe don't do that to them. Maybe just like send even a text message would be fine because I was mainly like, so I was with this dude for really like less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But like we started like pretty nice. Like it was really good. Sex was great. And then like it was around like state fair, and he took me to the state fair and his fucking family was there, and I'm like, what is happening right now? And then like we went to a concert where he also like brought his sister, and like they were super close, and like his friends. So like I just immediately became like
A part of
integrated within his like social circle.
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks, and I'm like, okay, like I guess this is heading somewhere.
Yeah, it's going well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just dropped everything.
That's awful.
And I was just like, what did I do?
Yeah.
But also I was kind of like, like, are you alive? You know, did you die? What's happening? Because I got no signs that like he wasn't having fun, because I was having a lot of fun, and it seemed like it was mutual.
Yeah. Especially he introduced you to like friends and stuff. Yeah.
And so I was like I was very stressed about it, just because I literally thought he died for a while, or that he's in the hospital or something, and I couldn't find anything. And
oh my god, you searched?
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Damn.
And like he wouldn't. Like he never like at some point I dropped it, because I like found like him like posting on social media again. I was like, okay, so he's alive.
Yeah,
he's just a fucking dick, and I moved on.
Oh no!
But yeah, that was really hurtful.
Yeah, that's a horrible example of like ghosting, because
I think it can like ghosting is really, it's a cowardly move.
Fair enough.
And you should be able to just kind of like cut things off. But also, my scenario is really weird, because it was literally just 2 weeks, but they were very intense 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think if you're literally just like, you went on a date and it wasn't really what you wanted, courtesy message would be nice, but also if they don't really send anything and you don't send anything,
it's whatever.
Yeah,
I think I assume when like if after first date things didn't go well and nobody sent it and both parties knew that it didn't go well. But yeah, I its timeline is interesting, because 2 weeks doesn't seem too long, but if you are introducing somebody to their social group, that's a big deal. And you just assume like, okay, that means it's a good thing. Otherwise, I'm thinking he introduced all the girls that he sees and he just brings them around. I would never want to do that, because it's like, what would my friends, like, they already know that I'm dating other people, but like, what would they say, that I'm bringing anybody? They're not gonna take notice of any important person that I'm bringing. I think ghosting, ghosting by friends hurt more than being ghosted by people I date. That's awful. Yes, if my friends ghosted me, I mean, I think you guys all ghost me sometimes, and then we come back together, so I guess it's not a ghosting. I think ghosting is, it's weird, because I have ghosted in the past, but I think the circumstances has been where
I've ghosted also.
Yeah, it's either the person was just crazy, so it's like, I'm gonna stop responding, or they didn't take a hint. Like I told them like, this is not going well, and they kept messaging, and I'm like, no, like, I'm not gonna respond to you and give you any hints of anything further. I think ghosting is fine. It just depends on who it is. Alpha Cure Ace, not gonna lie, I ghosted a girl in high school because she was coming on way too strong and I barely knew her. She was giving me the hysterical type. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, if you know you're not into that, then it sounds like, okay, sometimes I feel like people use ghosting when there's no ghosting happening.
Yeah.
It sounds like she was really wanting to do something and you didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ghosting, it's just rejection.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Okay, I guess your username means something bad. I don't have it. I don't know how else I will say the full name. But yeah. Benderson, I don't have enough friends to ghost or be ghosted.
Oh,
hey, just start talking to somebody and ghost them. What do you think about ghosting people on dating apps? Because if you're just talking on dating apps, and I feel like people talk quite a lot for multiple people, that conversation just ends. I think it's fine. I think
it's fine, but it's also like a waste of time.
It is a waste of time. It is difficult because you don't want to like just talk to one person, have not going anywhere, and then you end up talking to multiple people, and then you don't go anywhere with any of those people. It's just difficult line.
Yeah. So I've started just like, if I ended up having a conversation with somebody and like it's ongoing, then I'm just gonna be like, let's go out.
Yeah.
Then if they like don't want to or don't even respond, then that's it. Because I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to like waste time anymore.
Yeah. No, makes sense. It's like, as soon as I can get off this app is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's fine. Somebody said up, it was the world's famous, I got ghosted on a dating app because I prefer dubs over subs. That's hilarious. That makes sense.
Does it?
Dubs over
That's
subs.
so funny.
It's like that person takes that seriously.
That is so
I
funny.
love it. I love it. Ghosting on a dating app is almost like speed dating, like that speed dating scene on 40-Year-Old
Yeah.
Virgin. Yeah. Or speed dating scene in Parks and Rec.
Speed dating is. Have you ever been to like a speed dating event?
No, have you?
I haven't been to like a speed dating event, but we've done like that scenario like at university. When I was
Seriously?
like meeting all of my classmates.
Okay.
We did like a little like shuffle.
So
where-
not dating per se,
It
but
wasn't
like
dating.
speed meeting.
It was just
kind of
like yeah,
thing.
like a speed meeting
Yeah.
where like we had to have conversations in English about like each other.
Yeah.
And then at the end, after going through like I don't know, like 12 desks,
Yeah.
like 12 different people, we had to like come in front of the class and say what we learned about those people. It was a good icebreaker.
Yeah, that's good.
I think speed dating events are a cool idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder how successful it is.
There's quite a few that happen around Indy. There's quite a few around happen here. I'm curious if anybody in the chat has been to speed dating, because that would be a good to know. Like, what is a success rate of it? Because it does bring people outside and actually talk to them, and they kind of force them to talk to everyone and figure something out instead of just lingering around in a bar and hoping that somebody comes up to you or you go up to somebody else. I think speed dating is a great concept. Just don't know how many people show up or what kind of pool it looks
I
like.
would think that I would think that a lot of people would show up. I think like maybe like single young professionals who don't have a lot of time in their schedule. Like this might be like a good way to like maximize their time.
Yeah. And Watchdog, you said I would do speed dating if it was with friends. I would be crazy nervous alone. I understand that, but like you will have to be talking to people one by one. So like I like as long as I understand the speed dating, like you sit down with somebody, you have like 5 minutes maybe to talk to that person, and then you go and talk to somebody else. So it doesn't matter if you're alone or they're friends because you have to be talking to somebody by yourself. I think friends matter when you are out on a club and you want a wingman or wingwoman. Like, come help. I'm a horrible wingwoman. Every time like Normies ask me, was like, what are you doing? I can barely find somebody for myself. How can I be a wing person for you? Like, get out of here.
I don't know how to be a wing person.
Yeah.
I would just be like, hello, what do you think about this?
This person.
They asked about you.
Oh my God. That's like, talk. Bye. And just like move away like a Simpson. Like in the bushes, like I'm gone.
A 5-minute conversation with eye contact. What the fuck?
Hey, it's better. It's horrible. I am like really.
Aww.
I prefer dating apps. It's horrible to say, just because like my introvert self is just comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And then like
And I
going
think
out
it's
and doing
safer
that.
too.
It's safer too,
Yeah.
and I can weed out people much better. I mean, I don't know if I might be weeding out people that I don't want to be, but at least like the kind of a resume is right there. Like I know already my deal breakers. Like these are my deal breakers. If I see them, like all right, good to know.
Definitely.
Yeah,
That's true. I guess there's pros and cons to everything.
yeah.
But I'm definitely very happy I'm not single right now because
The world is hard.
the world is hard.
Yeah,
you know.
that's it. Like the world is hard. No, fair enough. All right, this has been amazing. I don't know where Spencer's at. He probably will do it.
All right,
But
I can do it too.
Perfect.
Yep.
We are doing great. Guys, remember tomorrow is One Piece stream at 4 p.m. Next Thursday is all One Piece day. We are It's tomorrow? Oh my God, tomorrow is all One Piece day. Seriously, we are doing live action reaction to like the first 3 episodes with Suraj, and then we're gonna go into the manga read along. So tomorrow is gonna be all One Piece for us. And I think for us, we still haven't found Tony Chopper's hat, so we need to figure out what's going on with that. I'm gonna send out a whole message to everybody who's been at the studio. But yeah, has anybody seen the live action yet? Like, is it good? No, we're doing live action One Piece, so we're gonna do the first 3 episodes of those. It's gonna be me, Marketa, and Suraj, and then we jump into the read along. So tomorrow's gonna be full one day insanity that I am super excited about.
Get ready, 'cause it's about time for you to speak your mind.
Super secret
Girls Club.
secret
Girls Club. Super Secret Girls Club.